Hey everyone, I'm Parker, co-founder of Deco Exchange. Ever been told that crafting is just a hobby? Well, we've turned our passion for crafting into a thriving 8-figure business, surrounded ourselves with an incredible community, and learned countless valuable lessons along the way. From navigating business challenges to celebrating wins, we've seen firsthand that makers mean business. Join me as we dive deep into these stories, strategies, and secrets behind making your craft a successful enterprise. Because here at Makers Mean Business, we're all about proving that makers aren't just making, they're building dreams and running businesses. Hey everyone, it is Parker here with the Makers Mean Business podcast. Y'all, it's so funny. I always get weirded out on what to say when I start because currently it's the morning. So I want to say good morning, everyone, but you might not be watching in the morning. So I guess good morning or good afternoon or good night or good day or a good whatever. Y'all, we're here back for the final episode of the live selling series. Y'all, this one, it's going to be a little more, I hate using the word advanced because I don't want to scare people away. I know a lot of specifically handmade creators, handmade crafters, handmade sellers, whatever you consider yourself, typically don't really enjoy technology. So I usually take the approach of less is more. So the first 6 episodes were the less part, where less meaning there's not too many extra bells and whistles. There's not that much extra technology. There's not that much extra software, things that typically creators struggle with. I didn't include very much of that if I could avoid it. This episode, I wanted to include some of that stuff. Maybe you're a little more advanced. Maybe you're ready for more. Maybe you started doing live video and you're like, okay, this is great. How can I get the most out of it? Or maybe you're just, you don't struggle with that kind of stuff and you can pick up on it really easily. This episode is going to be for you. What I want to talk about, how you can basically get more bang for your buck with the live video using other parts of your business. Y'all, this is probably one of the most rewarding things for me in our business right now. Rewarding monetarily and also just personally. I love it when a good plan comes together. And a lot of this episode, we're going to be talking about planning and kind of basically making the stars align. So I'll give you an example if it's not really coming together, what I'm trying to say. If we're going to be doing a live sale next Tuesday, for example, there's some things that we can do to amplify that up. We can hype that up. Some examples would be we could send an email about it. We can schedule events about it. We can send text messages about it. We can do a promotional sale. We can do all kinds of things like that to help hype up the event, the live sale. And again, I wanted to keep this one kind of separate from the rest because there's a lot of anxiety, honestly, around being live on camera. Some people just don't love it. I honestly don't particularly love it. It's kind of part of my day, part of my normal work stuff now. So it is what it is. But I know when you're just starting out or maybe you're trying something new, again, less is more is the approach I take for that. But if you're going to be doing it and you're going to commit to it, I just also want to include some other ideas or some other suggestions on what you could possibly be doing to help make that live sale better, to make it more worth your time, and to just relieve a little bit of pressure or maybe some doubts you might have for the live sale. So let's hop into that, y'all. The first thing I want to talk about in this specific episode is the option to, there's a few words for it, simulcast, multi-stream, stream all the different places, stream everywhere at once. There's a lot of different words for the same idea. This can be a good thing. This cannot be a good thing. It just depends. And it might be something that you want to try out. It might be something that sounds appealing to you. It might be something that you just want to try to work into your business and knock out a few birds with one stone. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that and then what could be potential issues with that. So the first thing I really want to point out is keep in mind if you're streaming or if you're doing the same video across different platforms. Let's say you're live on Facebook and you're live on YouTube and you're live on TikTok and you're live somewhere else, Instagram, whatever it might be. Keep in mind that those audiences are typically not the same people. each kind of social media platform has its own, let's just call it a personality. Each person on that platform expects different types of content on that platform. And I think the easiest example would be for us the difference between a Facebook video, a Facebook live video, and a YouTube live video. Most people on YouTube, unless we're sending our own people over to watch us on YouTube, people that just find you on YouTube and watch your videos, they, in our experience, this can change, they typically don't love a lot of chit chat. A lot of YouTube, and y'all, there's always exceptions to the rule, so don't take this as the only way that this happens. You can absolutely build a community on YouTube. You can absolutely have people that want to hang out on YouTube. But a lot of people on YouTube go onto YouTube to find how-to stuff. So for us, when we're doing lives on YouTube, they're usually a lot more direct. They're usually a lot more step 1, step 2, step 3. They're usually a lot more, this is how you make this thing. And we decided to do it that way, mostly because I think a lot of people on YouTube mostly just want to get straight to the point and want to learn whatever they're trying to learn and move on. Again, there are successful YouTube channels that build a community and want to hang out and chat on YouTube Live. But on Facebook, we hang out, we talk, and that's what people expect. If we go onto Facebook and we just do a step 1, step 2, step 3, I think it could be fine. But I think the majority of people there are there to hang out, to talk with their friends, to talk with us, to see us live, to see what we're selling, to interact with us. All of that to say, keep in mind when you're live streaming, especially to multiple different platforms, the type of people watching may not be uniform. They may be different. They may expect different things. And that can cause stress. That could be difficult to manage. That can be also hard to do. For me, it takes a lot to be focused on the video. And it's hard to think about, okay, I'm doing this part for the YouTube people and I'm doing this part for the Facebook people. And for me, it pulls me in a bunch of different directions. So it can be difficult. It absolutely can be done. It absolutely can have value. But just keep that in mind. There are different types of people watching on. That being said, y'all, another thing that we're doing currently with one of the selling softwares that we use is we have a mobile app where our customers can download an app on their phone and they can watch us stream live on their phone, or they can watch us on Facebook. So that's another version of kind of streaming in multiple different places. But it can be useful. It's definitely a tactic that I want to make you aware of. I've also heard of other people who have multiple phones, and just one phone they go live on TikTok, one phone they go live on Facebook, one phone they go live on Instagram or YouTube or whatever it is. That's also an option. There's software that kind of takes your one video and pushes it out to multiple places. There's a few different ways to do that technically. But like I said, I just wanted to bring it up and let you guys know that that is something that you can do. The next thing I want to talk about is scheduling. I'm not a scheduler when it comes to video. It's not my favorite thing. It gives me anxiety a little bit. I don't like having stuff looming over my head. I don't like committing to stuff like that. It's just not my favorite thing when it comes to video. That being said, y'all, I live and die by my calendar. Every meeting I have is on my calendar. Everything that I need to do is on my calendar. I just don't like scheduling a video personally. However, the results are hard to argue with. You get more people watching, you make more sales. It's just a positive for everyone. People don't miss it. They can watch you live. You can interact with them more. They know what to show up. They know what to expect. So scheduling a video out can be very helpful. It's something that I really want to try to do more. It's really something that we need to do more because the results you can't argue with them. Now, when I say scheduling, you can post on your page about it. You can create an event, invite people about it. You can send an email to your customer list about it. By the way, I think the next series I'm going to do is about email marketing. I'm not sure yet, so I don't want to hard commit to it, but definitely in the future, I'm going to be having one. So if that's something you're like, man, I wish I could do more email, we're definitely going to talk more about that with another series on the podcast. But that being said, y'all, kind of doing all of those things together, it's okay. You get a few more people when you post it on Facebook. You get a few more people when you schedule out. You get a few more people whenever you send an email letting people know about it. You get a few more people when you send a text. All of those few more people really add up, and it helps snowball and helps exponentially grow. So doing those things consistently can really help. Again, I know that can be daunting and it can be overwhelming to think, oh my gosh, I have to do this video and then I also have to schedule this out. And then what if my camera doesn't turn on at the time that I said it got scheduled, and all of these things, I know. And the reality is stuff is not going to work the way that you want it to all of the time. But like I said, this whole episode was meant to be for more advanced. Maybe you're ready to take on another piece. And the nice part about this kind of stuff is it's not an all or none type thing. You can try live streaming and you don't have to schedule everything out. You can try scheduling and you don't have to try live streaming. You can send an email and you don't have to schedule it. You can do a whole lot of little bits. And I know it sounds like I'm just throwing all kinds of stuff at you guys, but what I hope is that you find something that sounds appealing to you. Maybe it's, oh, I can do that. And then just take that one thing and try it and try to implement it. I'm not going to pretend like it's easy to just all of a sudden do all of the things and all of them right and all of them. It's not, y'all. It's dang near impossible. But what you can do is take one little bite and implement it and be really good at it, get better at it, get effective at it. And then you can, all of a sudden you can do 2 things, and then you can do 3 things, and then you can do 4 things. But don't feel like you have to take all of this advice and go and implement it all. Y'all, the last kind of main idea I want to talk about when it comes to, I guess, some more advanced selling is really implementing yourself and your brand and your personality and you into the live stream. I guess this is like a sidebar. I've always wanted to have a faceless brand where it's hard to explain. Damon started out as the face of the brand and he's done an amazing job and everybody knows him. And whenever you think Deco Exchange, you think of him. And maybe now to an extent, people think of me and him, and maybe people think of me and the coaches and him, and we're diversifying where it's not just Damon. But I've always thought about, like, I've always entertained the idea of having a faceless brand where when you thought of the brand, you didn't think of a person, you still just thought of the brand. I don't know. I think people know the Walmart people, but they don't think of them when they go to Walmart, or when you go to the gas station and it's like a Shell or a Chevron or whatever, you don't think of the owner of Chevron. You just think of the brand, or Nike or Neiman Marcus or whatever these places are. I thought it would always be nice to be that way, but I think the reality is, as a small business, I think you can't always be faceless, and it's not always going to be easy to be faceless. Again, you can do it for sure, but the last kind of note that I wanted to talk about here was bringing yourself into the brand and bringing your personality into the brand. I think one of the strengths of small business is being personable, being like humanizing yourself, letting people know what you stand for, what these sales mean to you, what your business means to you, what the business means to your community. All of that kind of stuff can be really powerful and can be hard to navigate. I think sometimes it can be hard to, I guess, people might perceive it as disingenuine, or this happens a lot whenever we do stuff for philanthropy or donations or fundraisers or stuff like that. And we always have people that are like, oh, you're just doing this because you just want to show off and you're just trying to promote yourself through the philanthropy or for the fundraising. And the reality is we're trying to inspire people, and we're trying to show them that their support for our business means more than just money in our pocket or more than just sales. And we do these things to help humanity, to help our community, to help do all of these things. And I think there's a right way to go about that stuff. But I think what I'm trying to say is, whenever you try to bring in your values and if you support a different causes or something like that, make sure that they're genuine. Make sure that they actually mean something to you. If you're doing it just to try to get attention, I think people will pick up on that. And really just being authentic in general. I know we talk about authenticity a lot, but make sure when you do these things, it's authentic to you. And if it's not, don't do those things. I really don't. You can't keep up a show forever. And it's just not a great thing to mislead people or to do things because you think it would look good or make you look good, especially when it comes to business stuff. Y'all, I think I'm going to wrap this episode up here. Again, if you listen to all this and you're like, oh man, that seems like a lot of stuff. Before you try to pick one of these things, go live. Turn the camera on and show people what you have to offer. Explain to them why it's important to you. Explain to them why they would love what you're selling. Explain to them what kind of problems you can solve. Invoke some emotion in these customers and start making some sales on video, because it definitely, it's a thing, y'all. And we do it all the time. And a lot of other people do it all the time too. Once you've started doing some video and you're looking for ways to get better or to add some more, just add more to your live selling experience. Pick up one of the things that I talked about in this video and just try to implement it, y'all. With that being said, you guys, if y'all enjoy this series, this podcast, this episode, anything like that, please leave me a review on Apple Podcast or Spotify or wherever you're listening today. It would mean a lot. It really helps us out. You can always subscribe. You can always follow the channel to get updates. We drop a new episode every Thursday morning. I've been consistent for a few months now, so I'm going to keep saying that I'm going to drop an episode every Thursday, y'all. But yeah, that wraps up live selling, y'all. To summarize what the whole series was, if you're just listening to this one episode, we had 7 episodes in this series. The first one was a quick introduction to live selling. The second one was planning your event. The third one was engaging and selling live. The fourth one was technical setup. I think that one was pretty interesting. I have a list available of all of the supplies and stuff that we use. You can visit makersmeanbusiness.com for that list. The next one was follow-up. I love analytics, so we talked a little bit about analytics. The 6th one was building a community. And then the last one, this one was about the advanced selling strategies. One more time, if you enjoyed this, if you want to learn more, if you want to keep listening, you can subscribe to Makers Mean Business on Apple Podcast or wherever you get your podcast. I'll see you on the next episode.